Hey everybody, welcome back. Marcus Graves back again with another reaction to The Haunting of Hill House, this time to episode 8, Witness Marks. Let's get on into it.
He didn't have to break the house.
I don't think he did.
Me neither. Someone ask you what you think, Theodora?
And you feel bad for the dad because he can't say it, but thankfully Theo saw it too.
We're really not going to tell them what we saw.
You see how they act with me, Theo, so no.
Mom? What do you mean, sweetheart? Of course you're safe with me. Mom!
Scattered.
She used to say she was the kite and I was the line. Like she was a creature of the clouds and I was a creature of the earth. And she'd say that
Interesting analogy.
Let's go.
Turn off the porch light. I can't handle trick-or-treaters tonight.
I love you.
You guys have fun. Goddamn lights off.
Because it ain't trick-or-treaters.
You know, and one day when you have children, you'll understand that.
I'm never having children.
That's a shame. Because your kids are the best thing in my life.
You mean Aunt Janet's life? She's the one who raised your kids, didn't she?
You don't know. You don't know what it was
You never
like.
told me.
Everything I did.
Come on, Steve.
Yeah, just like you protected Mom.
Like I know why he feel, but fuck you, man.
I miss my mom.
I miss her too.
Upstairs.
That's why I said I know where he's coming from. Obviously, it's just ease up a little bit, dude, on your dad. Of course, he doesn't know some of the stuff that we're privy to. Hell, we don't even really know all of the story at this point.
Poppy Hill. She was William's wife. She was insane. If you really want this to be a surprise for your mom, I'd suggest you don't work on it in your room.
Okay, so she is, you know, not just showing kindness, really, towards Nell only. She was doing so there. And now, of course, given what we know about Clara, Mrs. Dudley, from last episode, puts her
Take the fucking candy.
puts her antagonism in a different light. Ding dong. Who is this dude?
I just need you to know that it wasn't Kevin's fault and he didn't do anything.
Don't fucking dare defend my husband.
All perfect Shirley, and we're just a bunch of fuck-ups fucking up perfect Shirley's perfect fucking life. No! No! You do not just get to shove me out of your life! Did you just punch me in the boob?
Yeah. And you get evicted from my fucking house.
Be freaky as shit. Oh, that was her face. Yo, I was like, whoa. Oh, it's just like when they were kids. Only no dogs barking.
I got a hit.
He used the card at a gas station.
Amherst is on the way.
Yeah, I know where it is, right?
You guys.
Shirley, listen to me. You're gonna.
He's heading to the house.
Tell them what
The
happened.
house, there's something wrong with our goddamn brains. So yeah, I'm never having children. I made sure. Vasectomy. It was the right call, believe me, because if I
And he
ever
never
got
told his wife.
some of the bad
He didn't want to delve into the issues of the family.
Love it.
Mom?
She sees.
Older picture, you would have been wearing a suit about an hour ago. Did he come in?
Yeah, filled up his Jeep, and then he filled up some cans, like 5 cans.
He's gonna try to burn it down.
Gasoline. He's not going there to kill himself. He's going to burn the house down.
Well, that's a relief.
He's in more danger now than he's ever been. And if he tries to burn it, it will defend itself.
You really didn't hear a word I said.
Yeah, I did. Now you're going to listen to me.
Yes.
There's a lot you don't
Bitch.
know. For all of us, but especially for you.
What? Why?
Because I read your book, and you are the last person that should ever step foot in that house because of what you wrote and how you wrote it. I just wanted to know its history. The clock hadn't been touched since the 60s.
You hired a slew of workers toward the end.
There wasn't anybody for that clock, yeah.
You think you're writing about your crazy mom, your crazy brother. You see the marks, but you don't know how to read them.
Huh. And I had thought this.
You kids, a treehouse.
Luke was in there all the time. I used to go fetch him for dinner.
Flipping a house. How would I even have the time to build you kids a goddamn treehouse? There was no treehouse. When we get there, you can have a look. But
So go ahead, tell me.
She has a stare.
Dad and I were in your office.
That's like piercing. She's about to kill you.
I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't need to hear your excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I saw.
Oh my god. So how about you shut the fuck up, Shirley, and just listen.
Okay? You ought to know why I did it. I touched Nell because I had to know. And I felt nothing. Until I couldn't feel anything anymore. I was just this dark, empty black hole. And nothing worked. I couldn't feel anything. And I wonder if this is it, if this is what death is, just out there in the darkness and numbness and alone. And I wondered if that's what she felt, and that's what Mom feels. Nothing and alone.
And that's what Mom feels, present tense.
I didn't see him. I didn't see him. I had to feel anything. And then you walked in. God, I'm so glad I did it, though. Because it worked. I felt shame and I felt grief because it felt better than nothing. That thorough fucking shame was so much better than that horrible empty nothing. I am so sorry.
Oh, man. I could literally feel like that was the first breath I took during that whole monologue. Man. Whew. What's her name? The actress Kate Siegel? She is fucking amazing. Oh, it's red this time. Oh, not today, Luke. Unfortunately. That was Poppy. Okay, so the secrets kept by this family has always been a through line throughout the series, but this episode particularly dealt with it and brought it to the fore. And not only just secrets, but secrets being told now. They're at a point now where you're like, fuck it, look, here's what's happening. Here's what's going on. I've tried to tell you before, you wouldn't listen, so I just let it go. You're going to fucking listen tonight. So we get the father talking with Steve about not necessarily what happened that night, not yet, but the fact that he's not crazy, that it's always been there, the truth has always been right in front of his face, and he couldn't see it because he saw it. You know, he couldn't see it because it wasn't extravagant, it wasn't ostentatious, it wasn't grandiose. It was something very subtle, very insidious, where it's not going to be horror, it's not going to be terrifying, it's not going to be fear-inducing. It's just going to be something very quiet, very subtle, and very almost unnoticeable. But everywhere in his life, the house has always looked at him and said, I'm here. Jeez. I mentioned it during the episode, and that's something I had speculated before when Theo said, you know, it's crazy some of the stuff that you wrote in your books when you were asleep for, what, 90% of it? And yes, she was only talking about that night, but I always thought that, and yes, it could have been, you know, like a condemnation, like, you know, you feel like you could write this, you know, and you were asleep for, what, 90% of it, bitch? Psh, please. And it could have been that, but given what Theo knows, as much as she knows, as much as she can know about that last night and what happened, well, especially about that last night because she touched her father and everything, that it always occurred to me that her saying that was not a condemnation, it was curiosity. You were asleep for 90% of it. How did you actually get it somewhat right? And then Theo's monologue to Shirley, and given her ability to touch and then glean information from whoever or whatever she touches, and knowing then after episode 5 what Nell saw and what happened, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe she's crying because she saw exactly what we saw. Well, maybe not exactly, but she saw what at least a glimpse of what we were seeing in episode 5. And given all the information we had up until that point, it would seem like that would be the case. But the fact that she felt nothing. And you would think, well, of course, because her sister's dead. That's the problem, though. She has touched things before, living and inanimate, and she's felt sorrow, pain, death, whatever the case may be. But the fact that she felt nothing. I do realize, and maybe some of you are saying it right now as you're watching this. The fact of, but Marcus, of course she would feel nothing. The person is dead. And there is no conveyance, as far as I can remember, in previous episodes that conveys her touching something that was dead or whatever the case may be. So therefore she felt nothing. There is nothing that conveys that. So yes, it could just be a thing if she touched a dead body, therefore she felt nothing. But because she always feels something, whether the thing is inanimate or living, there's always something attached to that body. She felt the bed and felt this is a sick bed. So the fact that she felt nothing doesn't seem to convey lack of life. That she felt nothing seems to convey the deep depth of darkness in this hell house. So that what she felt is not void of life, it's just the void, period. A horrific black hole that destroys anything in its path. We get introduced to Poppy Hill in this episode. Clara has mentioned before, see now I started calling her Clara instead of Mrs. Dudley. Oh, now that I know her name, like I'm on first name basis with her. Mrs. Dudley has talked before about some of the hills with Nell. I don't remember if she's mentioned Poppy before in that episode, but they just introduce her now after kind of really just introducing William the previous episode, bricking himself into the cellar, which, yeah, sure, of course he did, but yeah, I bet he did just that. And how Poppy was insane and so was William. They met in an insane asylum. And I guess why introduce her now? Why so late in the game? And, well, I guess the argument could be made not late in the game. I mean, all we've seen so far has been backstory leading to, in the very first instance of where things can start to unravel and unfurl, would be episode 6, Two Storms. Just have to see how these next 2 episodes play out in terms of the revelation about her character and really the hills, period. Abigail's not a hill, right? I don't remember them ever saying Abigail was a hill. And really only Mrs. Dudley has talked about the hills, and I don't remember her mentioning Abigail. I remember listening out for it. Maybe I missed it, but... And if that's the case, who's Abigail to them? Maybe somebody they were watching, maybe a friend in the area that died on the premises. A friend to one of the children, I mean. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other content that I have on there. Reactions, breakdowns, my short film Yin and Yang, all that good stuff that's on there. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.